Promise, joined now by Shon Morris. There is going to be conversation that even with an extension, that Chris Collins will still be a wanted man, that other programs, should he take Northwestern to another tournament, will come calling once again. This at least quiets some of that conversation. And Chris is saying all the right things. Personally, I happen to believe the majority of what he's saying as well.
Well, and what this does is that it really helps on the recruiting front, Rick, because what these long-term extensions do, to your point, a lot of chatter, especially about Chris Collins over the last season or two, what's his next step potentially. What this does is it calms the recruiting waters. That's what these things are really gauged to do, because, as you mentioned, there's lifetime contracts. You know, marriage is supposed to be a lifetime contract. Half of those end in divorce. Fortunately, I've been able to convince the same woman for 25 years. She's on the losing end of that deal.
It is a miracle.
It is a miracle. But regardless, what this does is it really calms the recruiting waters, and that's what these long-term deals are for. Also with Coach Fitz, you have two guys that this is an institution that they fit very well. You know, Fitz being an alum in his own right, Chris Collins coming from the area there. But this is going to be something that really kind of calms that area, especially as both of them move into new facilities.
All that being said, should they get to the tournament again, should Collins have success in the next couple of years, and it times out with Mike Krzyzewski retiring at Duke, there is going to be the narrative and the conversation that Collins is the perfect fit. But as you and I have discussed many a time, Shon, you never want to be the guy to follow the guy that did nothing wrong. And Collins made a fascinating point about his dad having a famous father and wanting to carve out your own niche.
You want to carve out your own niche, but I think what you said before is really something that is stuck in my mind. You never want to be the guy to follow the guy. Let's go back to someone that would roughly be the equivalent of Coach K. You go back to John Wooden. The guy that took over for him took that program to a Final Four the next year. Wasn't enough. They got rid of him. The expectation levels, especially in the world in which we live now, Rick, are so elevated that if you can carve out your own niche, be generously compensated in doing so, and kind of create your own path, sometimes it's better to drive the bulldozer than the bulldozer comes over you from a paved road.
And it's not exactly as if Chris Collins is not being paid well. Again, Northwestern not compelled to release those financials, but our friend Teddy Greenstein, Chicago Tribune, reporting that sources telling him the salary will be more than $3 million a year, making sure he will be paid more handsomely than Illinois' new head coach, Brad Underwood.
Neither one of them going to be clipping coupons.